Hello, hello.
I guess don't nobody need no help but me.
You said what?
I said, guess don't nobody need no help but me.
Yeah, they probably just come. They probably just get come. Gonna be coming
Oh
in a
my
few
God.
minutes.
You know,
Time to
laughter
go
does
by.
good like a medicine.
You said what?
Laughter does good like a medicine.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. It does. Appreciate you yesterday helping out with the CDL call.
Yeah, I'll be trying. Hey,
Yeah.
I ain't got a whole lot to give sometimes, but I give what I can.
Hey, that's what's important. Get what you can.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Get
you
what you
still
can.
at the beach?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You made it back
I'm
home?
actually yeah, I'm actually headed back to the house now from
Oh,
I had to go
okay.
pick something up for my son and from Apple, and it took longer. You know,
Oh,
Apple always
Apple.
when you go into outside of an Apple store, it's like it takes so long because they try to sell you everything Apple owns. When you're in there, it's like I went in there to go pick something up that he had ordered, and they trying to sell me this and that, and insurance, and we got a business program, and we got
Oh
this,
my
and
Lord.
I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, hey, I got a meeting to do at 8 o'clock. I really don't have time to do all of this right now. Can y'all
Yeah.
please just go get my son's stuff so I can pay for it and leave? Please.
Oh, I'm just thinking about you. You know, your son 15, right?
Yeah, yeah, he'd be
Oh,
16 in August.
me and my kid, because I got three sons, right? Me and my
Uh-huh.
kids' dad, we made an agreement when they get in high school. You know, I'm not a man, you the man, so they gonna come live with you. So we
Yeah,
did that
that's what happened
crazy.
with all my kids. All my kids moved with me at 14. Each one of them moved with me when they turned 14. My
Yeah,
kids did. Yep.
yeah, and so it was good, you know. But the youngest one, he was like in the eighth grade when the oldest two went. They was like in sophomore. They like school year apart, and the last two was 2 years apart. But at any rate, he thought he was gonna stay home and be spoiled and all that stuff. Boy, I called children's services, told them to come and get him. I'm like, we ain't having no disrespect to talk back.
Hey,
Yeah.
Cynthia. Hey, Vanessa.
Hey, hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey, everybody.
How's
Hey.
everybody doing?
We doing great.
Oh, lovely.
Good.
Vanessa, that didn't sound lovely now. Sound like you struggled to get that out a little bit.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Vanessa, tell her you confessing. You confessing and decreeing.
That's
Ah,
right.
that's what I'm listening to. I was listening to positive affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
He said the most valuable thing that we take for granted is air. And I was
Oh,
like, wow.
The most what now?
Valuable thing that we take for granted is our air we breathe.
Oh,
Air.
yeah. That's why I'm exhausted. I just got back in from the outside. I didn't realize it's so hot today.
oh
It's
yeah.
hot. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord,
I
yes.
talked I talked to somebody from North Dakota and they said it was hot yesterday in the 80s and they woke up today and it was in the 50s and stayed there. She said
Mhm.
she's miserable.
Mm,
Just
Yeah.
put a jacket on and keep it moving.
that's right.
They out there in that bipolar weather.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord. I used to live up there. Mm-mm. I had to go.
Mm.
So Vanessa, where you located at?
I'm in Georgia.
Oh, you are? What part?
Mm, McDonough.
Oh, okay. Up there by the okay. All right. So I gotta think about that the next time I come up that way. I'll say, hey girl, I'm on my way.
Where are you?
Down by Brunswick, in Brunswick, Georgia, closer to
Oh, okay.
Savannah. Yeah. Hmm.
Gotcha.
So what we're going to be talking a little bit about today is going to be benefits versus features when it comes to lead magnets. Because I'm seeing some lead magnets that people are putting out, and they're putting like different features. Like, again, they're making it sales material when it shouldn't be sales material. It should be information to help that business do better, right? It shouldn't be the lead magnet shouldn't be selling the person anything. Because essentially, if you're doing that, then you're basically telling sales material and give me your email address at the same time, which is not really what a lead magnet is supposed to be doing. It should not be the features that you offer people. It should be benefits that whatever you do, whether you selling a legal shield product, whether you have you're a business consultant, whether you're a personal trainer, whether you're an insurance agent, it shouldn't be, hey, my insurance does this, that, and the other. It should be something talking about. So Nancy, who is one of the people that I'm helping do lead magnets, she sells dental insurance. So we're putting together lead magnets that helps that person understand things about dental. It's not talking about any of the products, insurances that she sells. It's basically like, hey, did you know that blah, 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 like telling them things about dental health. Right? Did you know this many people have gum disease because they don't do this, or they're flossing this many times? It's all information on their dental, because it's like, hey, we need to let you know, right, some educational things in this space. And once they understand that, now they're getting that information from a person who understands that. Now they may buy her dental insurance because she understands dental in general, which is somewhat what we talked about yesterday. What I talked about yesterday when we were doing the CDL was that there are people who are going out to companies and they think that they're helping the company by by giving them information on Legal Shield. And I'm like, in a sense, you're helping them in the understanding that we know that the product we offer helps them. So you are helping them in that manner. But when you go to a company and say,
You went out. Can't hear you.
He driving.
Can you guys hear me?
Okay, we hear you now. Go ahead.
Got you. Oh yeah, that was me going under. But I'll be home in about 2 minutes. So it's when you marketing the product to somebody, telling people what you do for them is not helping them the way a lead magnet should. It's helping them, but not the way a lead magnet should. So when you're introducing yourself to a company, whether it's in person and you're dropping off a lead magnet or you're sending one to them, the lead magnet is supposed to be, these are things that I can educate you on in your industry. Not educating them on the product you sell or educating them on the service that you offer. Right? If you got something that says I clean carpets and our carpet cleaning is known to be 60% better than the other competitors, that's not a lead magnet. Saying that 2 out of 3 kids get wingworms because their carpets aren't cleaned enough is educational.
Yeah.
So it's about educating that client, not educating them on what you do better than your competitor or what you do in general. So that's what I mean by benefits versus features. Features are what you offer. Benefits are the benefit of what you offer in that industry. And not, when I say you, not your particular product, but that kind of service. So normally if I put something together, I'll put something together that talks about, this is what's valuable about having a coach. I'm not telling them about what's valuable about having me as a coach. I'm telling them it doesn't matter what coach you have, having a coach will provide this benefit to your life or to your business. Right? Did you know that people with an organized email inbox gets about 30% more work done than somebody with an unorganized email box? That's me selling what? The benefit of having an organized email box. Well, any coach can do that. So I'm not selling you on what I'm going to do for you. I'm selling you on the idea, the education that an organized email inbox will create more productivity for your business. And when you're creating a lead magnet, that's what you have to do. Your lead magnet has to be based on education. That's what makes them want it and makes them want to download it so that they will give you their email. Because what they have to say to themselves is this information I'm receiving from this person worth me getting emails from them? Because that's what's going to happen when I download this. They're going to have my email and they're going to be sending me emails. Now, they know that they can delete them. They can unsubscribe. They can do all that kind of stuff. But sometimes companies are like, I don't even want you to have my email address to begin with. So you've got to give them something so that they are like, this is worth the same way you look at money, because their email is really essentially money for you. So you have to look at that like it's money, right? If you're selling something to somebody, you have to ask yourself, is the product or service that I'm selling worth what I'm charging? Is this person going to be willing to give me $100 a month or $100 a year or whatever your service is in order for me to provide this for them? Will they see the value in that and will they keep paying for it? If they will, then that means you got something that you feel like you can sell. It's the same thing the other way around. When you're providing that lead magnet, the question does this lead magnet have enough information on it? Is it educational enough, helpful enough that the person that I want their email is going to look at this and say, you know what? This information that they're saying that they provide, I really need this. This is worth them getting my email. As a matter of fact, I would rather them have my email, because if they got this kind of information and they're going to be sending it to me, I would rather have it because I need to see this kind of stuff or hear this kind of stuff, whatever you're sending. That is how your lead magnet is supposed to, that is what the proposition is supposed to be. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
So we've got to really understand the power in that, because I keep looking at these studies and they keep telling me the same thing over and over again, that it doesn't care. It doesn't matter what social media you look at. It doesn't matter how many billboard ads you buy. They're saying that the companies that they're surveying, and I don't know the size of the companies because that their information is never inside of the research. Successful companies make more money off of email marketing than they do off of any other marketing that they do. Whether it's YouTube ads or Facebook ads or billboard or radio spots and whatever they, word of mouth, whatever they got, a guy outside their business spinning signs, it doesn't matter. They're saying that they make more money off the emails that go out from their database to all the customers who have been in their store before, or bought from them online before, or clicked on a lead magnet and gotten their information. That is where they sell the most. That is where they sell the most. So remember, when you're going on social media and putting these lead magnets, that the lead magnets are not supposed to be selling anybody anything. It's supposed to be getting their email so that you can sell to them through their email. That's supposed to be the plan, right? So it's like we talked about those vending events, and we said you're not supposed to be at a vending show writing business. You're supposed to be at a vending show collecting people's information so that you can contact them after the vending show is over with and make your sales. You're trying to get people. You're trying to get prospects at a vending event, not get a customer or on-the-spot customer. That's not what you're looking to do. And it's the same thing with a lead magnet. A lead magnet is not meant for you to put it online and somebody click it and spend $30 with you. It's supposed to be, click on it, let me get your email. Now let me see you some offers, some coupons, educate you, and then you eventually turn into a customer. Get you to get my newsletter, whatever the case may be. That's what you're looking to do. Lead magnets are for prospecting, to build your email list. That is really the focus of a lead magnet. Is to build your email list, because that's where your money is at. Your money is on your email list.
Okay.
I know most of you guys are muted, but does that make sense to everybody? If it does, just put I was gonna say put something in the chat, but I can't even see the chat.
Why are you hiding, Mr. Dunbar? I'm not seeing you tonight.
Because
Yeah,
I
I
was
know
in the
it's
car.
strange.
I was driving.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
driving now. I'm home now, but I was driving, so I couldn't.
Ah.
You know how that is. If I cut my camera on while I'm driving, I'm gonna look at the phone, and then I wouldn't want to traumatize y'all with y'all seeing me get into a car accident while y'all was on the phone.
No. Yeah, it makes sense.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to y'all. So I'm actually walking into the house now where I'll be able to connect to my other Zoom system. And I'll be able to cut my camera on. But yeah, but that's the idea. So as you're looking for information to build your lead magnets, remember you're not looking for information that says I do this, I do that. You're looking for information that's going to be helpful to that business owner's business, because that's what they're going to want to click on, something that's going to help their business. They're not looking to click on sales material.
True.
Let me give you guys an example, something that I'm actually going to be purchasing next week, but I got the information online. So they got something called, it's called a Limo, something like that. What it is, it's and some of you guys may have seen it before. It's something new, but you guys may have still seen it before. It's a compactor that you put in your house that turns your trash into compost, so you don't need a garbage can.
Oh.
So what it does is you put it on your shelf. It's a white machine, nice looking machine, got a button on it. You can put anything in it, rubber, plastic, food, whatever. You put it in there. You fill it up. When it's filled up, you click it, and it turns the garbage into compost. And then the company comes pick up the compost. And now it's compost already, and they're trying to cut down on the landfills and all of that kind of stuff. And the machine is only $399. But when I looked at buying it, I saw their information on YouTube. I was on YouTube looking at some stuff, and their information pulled up, and a video played. They had a video ad on YouTube, and it didn't talk about buying their product. What it talked about is saving the planet, not having are you tired of spending garbage in your house, taking out the trash, checking out the trash, and it's dripping when you're trying to walk out the house with the trash bag? That's what it talked about. And then it said, for more information, click here. Then when you clicked on the video still didn't talk about the product. It talked about all the issues going on in the world because of how much garbage we throw out in America. Like what it's doing to the environment and how it's helping, causing global warming and blah, 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 blah. That's what it talked about. And then it talked about the machine and saying, hey, this machine is, you pay $49 up front. And then when they deliver it to you, you pay the other $351. And, the people come pick up the compost, and you no longer need a garbage can. You no longer need to buy garbage bags. Now they were talking about features. 2 videos before they ever mentioned the features to me. You guys follow that? So what they talked about, they were educating me on why it's important not to be a person that has a garbage can throwing out trash, because it ends up in a landfill. And how long are we going to continue to have landfills, and how much space is taken up in the world, and how whole areas smell bad because of trash, and how bad New York smells because of pollution and trash, and blah, 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 on and on and on. And that's really where they were looking to get people's attention, if that makes sense. So I want you to look at your lead magnet the same way. I want you to look at your lead magnet like, how can I educate this person to make them watch the next video? How can I educate this person to make them open up my next email that I sent? You don't have to sell them something on the first email you send them after they click on your lead magnet, because that's another mistake that people make. They make a lead magnet, somebody clicks on it, they get our email, and then they send them a sales email. The very first email is a sales email, and it's like, okay, you just put yourself back to square one, right? And it looks like it's all women on here. Let me see something.
So it's really to the point where we have to be mindful to identify the pain points.
Yes. I mean, not even be mindful of it, Vanessa. That needs to be the entire goal.
I mean, just I have to be mindful. I have to remember. That's what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
When I'm creating them, I have to remember that, like you said, that's the goal. I don't need to. It's just making that shift in your mind. 80-20. Information.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're on mute.
You have to make that determination in your mind that you are going to that shift, that you're not selling
Right.
until you put together a selling proposal. Like you're not selling just because you're emailing. Again, we think that we always have to be marketing. We're taught in sales, not all sales, but some sales, they teach like you have to always be selling.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not really true. So because there's all women on here, I'm gonna give you guys an
Or
example.
ABC, always be closing, right?
Yeah, always be closing. And I understand what they mean by that. So the narrative behind that, I do believe that is true. That is correct on the narrative. But the problem is people think that means that every time you open up your mouth, you got to be selling. And that's not really what that means. What that means is you got to always be gearing them up. So because there's so many women on here, it's gonna make sense this way, right? So it's like it's the example I just say, but it's going back to relationships and dating. So if a guy walked up to you anywhere, a restaurant, a gym, wherever, a grocery store, wherever you could possibly be at, and the guy walked up to you and just asked, could he sleep with you? That would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous, right? The guy might come to you and say something else. Get your contact information, whatever, right? Whatever transpires. But wouldn't it still be crazy if he got your contact information in the first phone call he asked you that?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. So we do a lead magnet, we get their information, and as soon as we get it, the first email is a sales email. It's the same thing. You didn't build a relationship first. So there's really no difference between me selling to you online or the first email being the sales email, the same way that as a woman, if a guy walked up to you and asked to sleep with you, it would be ridiculous. It would be just as ridiculous for them to ask you for your phone number and then call you tomorrow and ask you that question.
Yeah.
It's still too soon.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm getting kind of turned off with the virtual networking groups that I will join.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're and to be honest, when they see because I use the logo in the back, they don't realize it's Legal Shield. So they want to find out what I do. But then it's just like the first one-on-one you have, it's, I want you to invest in my product, or I want you to join my team. And I'm like, you said, whoa, wait a minute. I thought this was just a coffee chat.
I know.
I'm not trying to do that right now.
Mhm.
You don't know me. I don't know you. I just need to, I thought this was just an exchange of what we do and how we can collaborate.
Mhm.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
But to your point, what happens is everybody is taught, not everybody, but most people are taught, like, so you get people that join, because I'm familiar, I used to be in BNI for years and I used to own a networking company. That was similar to a BNI called BYN. And we used to train on networking. And one of the biggest things we had to break people out of was saying, I'm going to join this networking group, do one-on-ones with people. And you go to the one-on-one and all you're doing is going to sit. So you only do this networking, you do a one-on-one because you like, okay, it's 30 people in this group, which means I got 30 presentations I can do because I'm gonna do a one-on-one with each person. And it's like one-on-ones are supposed to be so that we get to know each other, so that we can give referrals.
Right, exactly.
Not sell to each other. But they think that because it's a group, all they're saying They're short-sighted. So when they walk in a room, they're seeing a room full of people that's going to buy from them.
Potential.
People that's going to refer them. So let's take that same scenario. The point of being on social media is to share, is for people to share your information, not for you to sell to them. So if I put a good lead magnet on Facebook, Vanessa might click on it because it's information that she wants. But the bigger enticement is when Vanessa clicks on this because she likes it, who in her network is she going to share that with?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I was on Facebook yesterday and I got this this PDF. I'm gonna send it to you. I follow this guy, got really good information. You should follow him. Now I got somebody else following me. Does that make sense? So it was a share. So a networking group is not meant to sell to, it's meant to sell through.
Through, yeah, good point.
And social media is the same thing. Social media is meant to use as a platform to get new prospects, not to sell to them on the actual thing. That's why if you look at, like, I've got an advertisement right now on Facebook and on Instagram, and the button that you click for my advertisement, it says learn more. It doesn't say buy now. It says learn more. So whenever I do paid advertising, it always gives you a choice, whether it's buy now, whether it's sign up, right? It's got those different buttons you can use when you're doing paid advertising. I always click learn more because I don't want people to hesitate clicking that button thinking that when they click it, the next thing I'm gonna ask them for is a credit card number. Because it's too fast. It's too fast. Like, I don't know you. I just saw something that you put online. That don't mean I want to buy something from you. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing. It's like if I have a button that says learn more, you may click learn more and see some interesting information and send that link to 3 other people, and you might not even buy it from me, but 2 of your friends might.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of social media for business, I mean, not totally, but in business, the whole idea is for your information to be shared with other people. That's how you grow your customers. The same way if I do an ad on YouTube or an ad on Facebook or an ad on Instagram, I'm doing the ad because I want people to click on the ad and I want people to share my ad. I'm going to sell later on. I'm just trying to get your information because once I got your information and I know what you clicked on and I have you tagged in a specific area, I can say, okay, these 6 people clicked on this, these 4 people clicked on this, these people, 10 people clicked on this. Now I got you categorized. Now I'm going to send particular material that has to do with that category. All I'm doing is putting you on my shopping cart on social media.
I like that.
You see what I mean? And that's where it needs to be at. And the problem is we're trying to create something so salesy. And I was listening to a training, and there was a guy, it was this expert marketer guy, internet marketer, and he was talking about how when we advertise, he said, whenever you create a title or a name of something that people have to figure out what it means, they're less likely to buy. So we create these lead magnets and these different things, and we got these interesting words on there that's like, oh, that's so cool. People gonna, and it's like, but nobody knows what it means. And by the time they ask questions and figure out what it is, they don't care about the product no more. You made it a puzzle at that point. So it's like, you gotta be very basic and be careful what you put on a lead magnet, because when you go to put that out there, you want people to click on it. You want it to be like at the lowest level of education possible, sad as it seems. Now, of course, if your target is scholars, then you don't have to do that, right? But if you're targeting general people who do general things, most people aren't that smart. Does that make sense?
True.
I mean, that's just the reality of it. If you look at the entire world of people, most people aren't above the average smart level. You got some people you know like that, and you might be one of those people that's above regular smart, but it ain't a whole bunch of people. It ain't most of the population. It's not, it's not half of the population. So when you putting something out there, complicated, and people like, by the time they figure out what it means, they confused. It's got to be very, 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 very basic. It's got to be very basic. Like Legal Shield used to market very basic. Like it was just basically in the beginning, not in the beginning, but when I started doing Legal Shield 13 years ago, it was big. All we basically said was, an attorney costs too much. I mean, you can just have a high school diploma and understand that. But we all know what something costs too much. So you don't have to have any specific education or have a lot of common sense or have no area of training for somebody to be like, hey, look, this service that I offer, it keeps you from having to pay, $350 an hour for an attorney. You just pay a monthly fee and you got an attorney. That's clean. You don't have to be smart to figure that out. It's real simple. And this thing started getting real technical because then everybody wants to do all of this special marketing to try to seem like, everybody wants to be intelligent. Everybody wants to be like, looked at like you got all of this intellect. And it's like you start to lose the everyday buying person because you know what? You don't have to be some genius to have a job with money to spend, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't have to have all of that extra stuff because the everyday average person with a 9 to 5 has discretionary income.
Yeah.
And that's who you're selling to. I mean, that's who your product is being sold to. So at the end of the day, that's your target market. So you got to keep it like, so remember when you're doing these lead magnets, like don't talk over people's heads.
Keep it simple.
Keep it real simple, real clean, so somebody to click on that, and then they're more willing to share because it just makes sense. It's easy, it's clean, it's like, you know what I mean? I got another machine, right? Obviously, I buy stuff online. I got another machine. I don't know if you ever heard of the Subi. You guys ever heard of Subi, SUBIE? So we just ordered a Subi, which is a kitchen machine that replaces everything. It replaces the oven, the stove, the microwave, the toaster oven. It replaces everything, right? And again, when I got it, it was real simple. It's a technical product, but the explanation was real simple. It was like, this is your new kitchen. Like this, you can get rid of your toaster oven, you can get rid of your microwave, you can get rid of your regular oven, you can get rid of your stovetop. This cooks everything and stores your food while it's thawing out. How simple is that? It was simple, and it was $250. I know what an oven costs brand new. I know what a microwave costs brand new. I know what a toaster oven costs brand new, and I know it costs electric to have them all plugged up at the same time too. Don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. So if I can replace 4 things with that, not that I'm not gonna have that stuff in my kitchen because I already have it, but I can unplug it and I can not have to use it and clean it until my 16-year-old son will quit using it and dirtying up and not cleaning it. I ain't gotta worry about that. Right? But it was simple marketing, clean marketing. It wasn't, even though it was a technical product and it was a new age thing, they didn't make it sound that way at all. So even though they're selling something technical, the verbiage was still not technical. So again, when you're talking about a lead magnet, how clean are you making it and are you doing benefits or are you doing features? Because you should be doing benefits, not features. It's not about saying we do this, we do that, we do this, we do that, we can help you with this, that, and the other. There's a place and time for that, but it's not on your lead magnet. Your lead magnet is supposed to be solving the problem. That's what it's supposed to be doing, solving the problem. Are you having this problem? Click on this and use this checklist. This is how I got past that problem. No matter what the problem is, whatever problem you target, that's what the problem is. And you're gonna do that. And that's how you create that lead magnet. And then when they click on that and get in your email list, now you know that they have that problem when they go clicked on it. And now you send them some more educational stuff. And once you send them the educational stuff, then, or educational, email, newsletter, whatever it is you send people. After that content, once you do that, then it's like, oh, okay, this person's got some good information, which keeps them opening up your emails, which then put you in a position where when you do go to sale or you do a class or a Zoom, they're going to want that information. So that's what always be closing is, right? Because you're bringing that person closer to the fire, closer to the fire, closer to the fire, closer to the fire, and now they warm. And that's what you're doing. You're just bringing them closer to the fire with the information. And it takes it's different amounts of prospecting for different prospects. So somebody after 2 emails, they might be like, hey, so what is it that you offer? Like, what do you sell? Like, because like I'm having this issue and it sounds like you can solve the issue. Like, what do you sell? That might be a person that you might get that person after 2 emails. Somebody else that might take 6 months for they buy from you. It's the prospect, it's not your material for the most part. Everybody's personality is different. So people buy at different times. That's why you're supposed to always be prospecting, because you're always closing somebody if you're always prospecting, because you close the people on different timelines. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yep. Yeah.
So that's
Yes, I like that. Always be prospecting.
yeah. Because you got to keep your pipeline filled, because again, if you want any kind of consistency to come out the other end of your pipeline, you have to consistently be putting prospects at the top of it. You stop putting prospects in the top, then it's only a matter of time. Anything you sell today is based on something you did some weeks ago or maybe a month or 2 ago. It depends on what you sell, how long it takes that process to go. But it's not because of what you did yesterday. Very rarely is the sale you made today from what you did yesterday. Very rarely is the success that a person has in their business based on what they did yesterday or last month or last week. It's normally based on something. So it's the same way when you hear somebody say, oh, I haven't done any prospecting in the last couple of weeks, man, but I still been making sales. Well, that's because those are residual sales. You did the work for those already. The sale are just coming in. So you can't stop working on Monday and then on Friday when you still close somebody and say, oh, I made a phone call since Monday and I still close people. Well, that's because the calls you made on Monday ain't gonna close nobody on Monday. It's a process. So the same way it starts late, it ends late. So some people will stop working and they think that their business is going by itself. And it's like, no, that's just your, that's the back end of that business from the work that you did before. It's just now panning it out. That's all that is. If you don't put no more prospects in there, then you're gonna be done. And when you're done, now you got to start from scratch again. So I guess the best way to explain that is like a painkiller. It's like a painkiller. So my sister's a nurse, and when I had surgery in 2019, she was like, "Hey, when you pick up your prescription and you start your pain medication, do not stop taking that pain medication. Take it on the scheduled time you're supposed to take it every time until you know that the pain is completely gone. When you pass the point of where there's going to be pain, don't wake up one morning and not be in pain and don't take your medication, because the reason you're not in pain is because you took your medication. So if you stop taking the medication, after 6 hours, you're going to be in pain because that pill is lasting you 6 hours. Does that make sense, everybody? So her point was, because you feel good doesn't mean you stop taking the meds, because the reason you feel good is because the meds are still working. But if 6 hours go by and you didn't take your next pill, well, 6 hours later, you're going to be in pain because that last pill done wore off. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So it's
Yes.
the same thing with our business. It's the same thing with our business. You can call every day for 6 months. And if you stop calling in 6 months, you're probably going to close people for another 2 or 3 months for the calls you made. But then if you stop at 6 months, I promise you on month 11, 12, you're not going to still be closing people. Not from the calls you made 6 months ago. So you got to always be putting people in the pipeline. And that's what those lead magnets are doing. It's putting people in the pipeline. Because every time somebody clicks on that lead magnet, you get their email. And now there's somebody else you're emailing educational information, which is now making them a prospect. And eventually you may close them, you may not. You may close their friend, somebody that they send something to, who knows, but it's prospecting. And if you do that, you will close people. You will close people. So that would definitely work that way. What time is it? 8:42. So any questions about that?
Nope.
No, sir.
Guys all good on that?
Well said.
All right. So who did not get last week? I didn't get all y'all last week. And I was talking about why each person hasn't gotten to their lead max, gotten their lead max. And so I know Allison, I got you last week.
Okay.
Who's under Allison?
You didn't get,
Cynthia, you're under Allison. I'll get you, Cynthia. How you?
we doing good. We doing good.
Good. So my question that I was asking last week to each person as I got to them was, if you haven't, because this is an if question, if you have not created any lead magnets, what has stopped you? What's the reason why you haven't created it?
Okay. So I think last time I talked to you, I informed you that we were looking at the videos again.
Mhm.
And so who we is Allison and Betty. Betty's not here today. And so where we stopped was at moving the contents where you copied and paste the contents to the Canva.
Mhm.
And then we didn't know what to do from there. We were stuck. And so I'm looking at episode 4 again, where you were really getting into talking about the content, what the content has to be. And at the end, the pay hip came back up. And so we're kind of stuck in knowing we don't know the layers of the lead generation. So we haven't moved forward. We haven't moved from that.
Okay, so on the video when it explains pay hip, is it not explaining it in depth enough? Is it like where you guys stuck at on the, because transitioning from the Canva to the pay hip, that will be the next thing. So once you got the information on Canva and you downloaded your Canva lead magnet that you made, or if you had somebody made, however you did it, it's all the same. You got this PDF that you downloaded, which is your lead magnet, right? Now putting it into PayHip is the next step. And putting it into PayHip is really just you uploading it into PayHip. And PayHip is free. So it's not that you have to pay, you just got to set up your account. So you're basically setting up, let me let somebody in here. You're basically setting up a PayHip account, which I don't remember whether I set up the account on the videos. I may have not. I've just been so long, I don't remember. But I've definitely done it on these episodes. So if you look at the YouTube, my YouTube channel, one of the episodes will say PayHip, like that's the name of it. And on that one, I know I went in there and set it up. And really setting it up is kind of self-explanatory. So if you go to PayHip and create an account, it's going to ask you to do stuff like anything else you set up, like an email or anything else. It's going to ask you for an email and, are you connecting this to a payment source? So I had a guy call me the other day and says, hey, I'm not selling anything, but my PayHip won't let me get started without connecting a payment source. And I was like, so connect the payment source. Whether you're going to sell or not, it doesn't matter. If they're not going to let you move forward without connecting a PayPal or whatever, if you have a PayPal, just connect it. Like, I mean, what's the point of not connecting it because you're not going to sell? What difference does it make, right? If it's not going to let you move forward. So that was his only issue. He couldn't get his PayHip set up because they was asking him for either Stripe or PayPal or how he's going to collect money from people. And he was like, well, I'm not going to sell nothing. And I'm like.
So I remember for me, because I remember one morning we did talk about that, and Allison had turned on PayHip and was looking at it, and Betty had looked at it, and I needed to come out of my AOL, and I hadn't started a Gmail. So I have started a new Gmail account. I need to do another one for the Global Run benefits. And then, so I don't know, we need to just put a goal on ourselves, just a date of where we can go to the next step, because life got in the way, you know, but we need to get back to meeting, and because that's what we did with the Canby. One morning we just said, this is it. Everybody make a post. Everyone here make a post. And so we all made a post. I can't remember what the post was. It was some event that was going on, and we made a post. And so the next thing was the pay hip. And as they were talking about the pay hip, I was like, well, I'm not putting it in the AOL because I'm trying to grow out of that. I'm trying to move to another place. And so we're now ready for that when we can get together.
Yeah, and I would say just put it on your calendar as a goal, or use something that seems to be working better for some of my clients than just flat out calendar scheduling, because everybody's brain works different. So the Pomodoro technique seems for some people to be working better than them just flat out putting it on their calendar. Why? I guess that's just the way people's brains work. So what some of my clients are doing is, I'm like, just do the Pomodoro technique. Whatever it is you have an issue with doing, you haven't put it on your schedule. So when you tell me, hey, I got to take care of this, and I say, well, have you taken care of it yet? Well, it's not on my schedule. I haven't put it on my schedule yet. And I'm like, well, why is it not on your schedule? Oh, because I just haven't, I got so much stuff going on. It's like, well, everybody got too much going on. That's just human nature, right? So we all, I mean, most people, you know, some people laying on the couch scratching, but you know what I mean? Most of us got too much stuff. You know, we got too much stuff lined up in our head that we want to do that'll fit in one day. It's just, we just can't do it. So you just got to pick apart, which is what the Warren Buffett technique does. The Warren Buffett technique is going to say, hey, take all your goals and put them on paper, whatever they are, big and small. Just write them all down on one sheet of paper, right? And you can use these techniques together. You can say, let me do the Pomodoro technique, which is set your timer. Where's mine? Right here. I use my phone, because I got more than one phone, so I'll just use one phone for my timer. So I'll take my timer, put it on 25 minutes, set it up here, click it, start it. 25 minutes, I may be doing nothing, but I'm gonna write my goals down on paper. Now, it might not take me 25 minutes, but I'm gonna give myself 25 minutes. 25-minute clock is running, I write down all of my goals, right? Let's say it took me 25 minutes to write them down. And let's say I had 40 goals written on paper. This is the Warren Buffett technique. I'm gonna say, okay, let me go back through this list now and say, I'm gonna take the top 5 goals on this sheet of paper. The 5 goals that are the most important thing. Go through my list, write those 5 down. The other 35 goals, I'm not gonna do those right now. It doesn't matter what they are. I'm gonna literally say, okay, I need to complete these 5 goals before I start on these 35. Because it's impossible for you to complete 40 goals at one time. It's just not gonna happen. So you gotta take those other 35 and say, I'm working on these in the next 90 days, or some of them, because you ain't gonna work on 35 either. But I'm gonna put these 35 to the side. I'm gonna work on these 5 over the next 90 days, or however long, because it might not be 90-day goals. I'm just hypothetically speaking. Whatever that, however long those goals are gonna take, you work on those goals and you put the other 35 to the side. You don't look at them no more right now. You don't work on them no more right now, because you're not gonna get anything done. It's too much multitasking. Work on those 5. That's your Warren Buffett technique, and you use your Pomodoro technique at the same time. So let's go back to pay hip. If pay hip is something that you guys haven't done yet, then you just set your timer to 25 minutes. You go online to pay hip, start your 25 minutes, and then set up your pay hip account. If it takes you 20 minutes to do that, stop your timer. You got it done in 20 minutes. Now you take the next step. You upload your PDF or your lead magnet in there. Let's say it takes you 2 hours to do that because you don't know what the heck you're doing and you just move slow and technology is not your friend. Let's just take that example. Pomodoro technique is 25 minutes at a time. So you do 25 minutes. When your timer goes off, you take a 5-minute break. Then you come back and you work on it for 25 more minutes. Then you take a 5-minute break. And you do that until that project is done. And what will happen is that 5 minutes in between, it's a psychological thing. I can't even really explain it to you how it works because it's psychological. You just got to do it. If you do the Pomodoro technique, what I've learned to do with the Pomodoro technique is I get a whole bunch of little small things done that I always have rambling around my head. And I'm not talking about the 25 minutes. I'm talking about with a 5-minute break. Because the whole idea of the 5-minute break is for you to walk away from the computer. So guess what I do now? I walk away from my computer and I wash a few little dishes in my sink. I probably got 2 cups, a spoon, a fork, a plate. That 5 minutes, boom, do that. I may cut my coffee machine or make a cup of coffee in that 5 minutes, right? I may call one of my kids over that 5 minutes. I may go in there, I break my laundry up. So let's say I'm gonna do laundry. Now you multitask and you're trying to do laundry at the same time, don't do it that way. Do your 25 minutes of work, and for your first 5-minute break, dump your laundry on the floor and separate it in that 5 minutes. Go back to work. In the next 5-minute break, throw your load in the washing machine and put your laundry detergent in there. Go back to work. The next 5-minute break, the laundry machine, the washing machine will stop. Now you're just taking it from the washing machine to the dryer, throw your dryer sheets in there. That's gonna take less than 5 minutes. Now you've done your laundry throughout your day and took your 5-minute breaks, which is mental health for you because you shouldn't stay on the computer. So don't go look up something on Amazon for your break because you're still looking at a screen. The whole idea of the 5-minute break is to get away from your computer or whatever you're working on. If you don't work on a computer and you're just doing it at your job or you're doing paperwork, walk away from the paperwork and take your 5-minute break. Sit on your balcony, go outside your house, go fill up your container with water and drink some water and just do whatever. Look at your text, send a text or whatever you got to do. Like if you're ignoring people during your 25 minutes, you will have something to do during the 5 minutes because you're not doing it during the 25 minutes. Mm-hmm. So I don't answer text messages while I'm working. So if I'm on my 25-minute Pomodoro, doing it for 25 minutes, my phone is always going off. Somebody's emailing me or texting me or something. I just ignore it. When I take my 5-minute break, I'll text the people back real quick, text them back. I'm done with it. If they text back, I'm not going to see it to my next break. You guys follow that? So when you're doing your lead magnet, do it the same way. You get to a point, okay, I got to tackle this, right? 5-second rule, right? You really don't want to do it. It seems like it's a big task. Use the 5-second rule and just count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your timer, go to that thing and do it. And again, 25 minutes later, if you're still not done, that's okay. It might take longer than 25 minutes. Just take your 5-minute break because that 5-minute break will allow you to come back refreshed and work on it for 25 minutes. And in the back of your mind, you're not worrying about when you're going to get your next break. You're not worried about working yourself to death. You're not worried about any of that because guess what? You know you're taking a 5-minute break. And after about 3 or 4 Pomodoros, so what I mean by 3 or 4, if I started at 9 a.m. and I did a 25-minute, 5-minute break, right? When I go back to work, what time is it? 9:30, right? Do another 25-minute break. A 25-minute run, 5-minute break. Now what time is it? It's 10 o'clock. Now I can do another one, 25 minutes, 5-minute break. Now it's 10:30. I do another one, 25 minutes of work, 5-minute break. Now I've done 4. After 4 Pomodoros, 3 or 4 Pomodoros, they say take about a 25 to 30-minute break. So after that 2 hours working, you might make a snack, right? Start preparing your dinner. Like what's that 30 minutes? Prep your food for your dinner. Take a nap. Take a power nap. I do the Nappuccinos, which is 25 minutes, but 25-minute nap. It's got to be something you can do in your house for 30 minutes. That's not your regular work. And as you do more Pomodoros, you'll learn how to use that break time efficiently so that you're getting other things done, but you're not really multitasking because you're doing it when you're taking a break. And now it's not on your mind because you know that you got a time to do it. And now you're not saying, oh, I got to put laundry on my schedule. You don't have to put laundry on your schedule now. Just do your laundry during your 5-minute breaks. And what you'll find is you're taking 5-minute breaks all day long. If you're doing 25 minutes, 5, 25 minutes, 5, 25 minutes, 5, 25 minutes, 5, 30, 25 minutes, 5, 25 minutes, you guys follow that? All of those breaks you're taking, you're doing all these little tasks on 5-minute breaks, guys. You see what I mean? You're getting a whole bunch of other stuff done. You're starting to prep on food. Maybe you got to cut vegetables for your food for dinner that you're making tonight, right? You can cut vegetables. You can pull out one vegetable and cut it for 5 minutes. What if it took you 7 minutes to cut it? It doesn't matter. You ain't got to hold yourself to that 5-minute break like that. If it takes you 7 minutes to do something, that's fine. Just like it might take you more than 25 minutes. You might be working on something that's going to take you a half an hour. I wouldn't suggest to doing a 25-minute Pomodoro, taking a 5-minute break, and then coming back and doing the last 5 minutes of the task. I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest you doing it for the whole 30 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break. So you'll learn how to adjust that. But if you get stuck somewhere in whatever you're doing, the pay hip, the Canva part, or anything like that, like schedule your Pomodoros to get it knocked out. And remember, what you don't want to do, delegate. Like, don't make yourself miserable. Like, if you like, you know what, for some reason this pay hip thing is just giving me anxiety. I can't do it. Like, I cannot force myself to do it. Well, then pay somebody to do it. Same thing with a lead magnet. If you don't want to make it on Canva, which I really don't suggest, I don't suggest you make it yourself if you don't know how to design things. If you're not the kind of person that's willing to try to design something, I wouldn't suggest you make your own lead magnet. I would suggest you go to Fiverr and have somebody create it for $5-10. Delegate it so that you can concentrate on the things that you would like to be doing, that you do well in your business, instead of holding your entire business up, trying to talk yourself into doing something that will cost you $10 to have somebody else do. Just don't make a whole bunch of sense. The idea is for you to have it. Like I've got somebody now about to put me on TikTok. I'm not touching TikTok. I don't want to deal with it. I don't watch it. I don't care for it. Not that there's something wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea. Like, I don't get anything out of it. So when people TikTok binge, I get it because they're into TikTok. I'm into YouTube. I'm not into TikTok, right? So for me, I'm not on TikTok. And my coach keeps saying, you got to put your business on TikTok. I'm like, no, I don't. And he's like, yes, you do. I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, yes, you do. You need to find somebody to do it because I already know you're not going to do it. So I found somebody to do it. Same thing with my Instagram. I got a company now that's about to manage my Instagram because my Instagram followers are only like 1,100 or something like that. And my coach is like, dude, you got to have like 10,000 or more followers. I'm like, I'm not getting on Instagram and finding 10,000 people. You crazy? I got 1,000 things going on. I don't care about nobody following me on Instagram. And he like, you running the business, you're a coach. You gotta have followers. So like that's the way the world works now. That's what's important. I'm like, all right. He like, I'll give you some companies because I know, again, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna build up my Instagram. It's not happening. It's just I'm not that into social media. I get on social media and post stuff that I need to post, but I am not no fanatic, and I do not enjoy sitting on Instagram posting stuff and trying to get followers. It's not something I want to be doing. But it's something that needs to be done. So I'm paying somebody to do it because that's what they do. It's not what I do. I'm a coach. I'm not a Instagram, like I'm Instagram builder. So I'm not going to sit there and be messaging people and telling them to like my page. No, I'm not doing all that. That's crazy to me. But the people who do it for a living, that's what they do. So whatever you want to do, delegate. Have somebody else do it. I'll upload my own videos to YouTube. I'll do all my own YouTube stuff because I enjoy doing the YouTube stuff. Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, I really don't care for it. So if you don't care for something, you got to delegate it because you're not going to run any business and want to do everything in it. Right? Period. Like I got all my systems set up for my taxes. I used to own 2 tax offices and I don't want to do no taxes. I don't even like answering questions. My comment be like, hey, I gotta ask you a question. I'm like, oh Lord, I don't want to answer the question about the taxes. I don't even want to think about it. Like, here's my bank account information. Here's my my stuff that keeps all of my finances. You know, she got me on a software, and the software collects everything. It's connected to my bank account. I'd be like, just download this stuff. I don't want to talk about that. Like, because I don't want to talk about what I'm paying the government. I don't want to talk about deductions. You know what I got to pay for? You got all my expenses. Just do whatever. I would rather just not see all of that going down. Does that make sense, everybody?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just telling y'all. I mean, I'm just being transparent. Like I know that it has to be done. You can't not pay taxes. You can't not. I get all of that, but I don't want to see it.
Yes, I got it. I
don't want to see it. Just let me know what I owe quarterly, and I'll get. I feel like I'm giving my accountant a check. I don't feel like I'm giving it to the government. I'm like, here's the money. Here's the money to pay the government, right? I then give it to my accountant and they do it. Right, Mark, she does it because I don't want to. I just let me run my business. I enjoy running my business. I enjoy coaching. I enjoy doing the things that I enjoy doing. The other stuff that has to be done, somebody else got to do that because I don't want to do it. And I don't want to wake up and feel like I have to do it and slow my day down. I don't want to slow my business down because I'm moving at a pace like, I got to do this at 2:00 and I don't want to. I don't do stuff I don't want to do. I just pace my do. That's the honest truth. I mean, it's just, that's what it is, right?
Mhm.
So you gotta, because I want everything to work efficiently. So I want somebody doing it that wants to be doing it. You know what I mean? I want somebody doing it that wants to be doing it.
That's
So,
their blessing, right?
right? And the stuff that I want to do, I can do it all day long.
True.
It's-
You know, I could coach all day long. I could train all day long. I can put together I can shoot YouTube videos. I can edit videos. I can do all of that stuff all day long. I don't want to be on Instagram. I don't want to be on TikTok, right? You know, I don't mind putting some stuff in like my Facebook groups and stuff like that, put material in there and stuff like that. But like being on Facebook, happy anniversary, happy birthday, what's going on? I don't want to know all your business. I don't want to be on your page looking at your dog dying and all stuff. Like I'm not in all that. Like I'm serious. It's like it's not nothing. I mean, I know that's what happens in the world. Like people lose family members and pets and all this stuff. But it's like I don't want to be caught up in all that stuff. It's just too much for me. It's like, because you know, you go to that stuff, you go to Twitter and all that stuff, and people tell me, oh, I lost my pet, or my wife left me, my husband left me, I caught this person cheating, and this is going on, and I'm sick, I got diagnosed. Man, I'm not no doggone counselor. I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't want to hear it. It's like I don't need I'm not interested in other people's business. I don't even watch reality shows. I don't care about what's going on in nobody else's business.
I agree with you, Mr. Dunbar. You and I both.
Yeah, it's like, if I'm on Facebook and I see it's your birthday, I'm gonna say happy birthday. Please don't say nothing back, because I don't want to be going back and forth. I'm just saying happy birthday because it's your birthday. Don't be like, thank you, I ain't seen you in a while, because I'm not even gonna be there for that. When you respond, I'm gone already.
Oh, that's funny.
Because I don't enjoy doing that. I just don't.
Right.
Right? That's like the worst part of my birthday. I go to my Facebook page and it's like 700 happy birthdays. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta respond to these people. I'm like, I don't want to respond to all these people. I'm like, can I cut my page off on my birthday? I know people doing it because they my friends or whatever. Like, I get it. I know why y'all doing it, but I'm like, oh my God, that's so overwhelming for me. I'm looking at that. I'm like, oh my, I hope these people not expecting to respond. Because I do not want to be on Facebook saying thank you for telling me happy birthday to all these people, because that's not my cup of tea.
Right.
It's just not. So you got to know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. If you're not willing to do these specific things, but you know your business needs them to run, you have to do them. So you got to look at this lead magnet process and say, in this process, this entire process, what am I willing to do and what am I not willing to do? And be honest with yourself. If you're not willing to do specific things, then you're going to have to get somebody else to do them.
Right.
Dunbar,
Yeah.
when your birthday?
It's on Facebook. It's coming up too. I'm already getting I'm having anxiety. I'm having anxiety now because my birthday is coming in like a little more over 2 weeks. My birthday is coming. So I'm like, oh my God, it's actually 2 weeks. I'm like, oh my God.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a suggestion. I saw someone do.
Mhm.
Just put a post up that says, everyone, thank you. For
That's right. That's what I would do.
birthday greetings."
And I do that, Cynthia, but I still, in my inside, I'll be feeling like, am I neglecting these people? I be feeling so bad. It's so ridiculous. I be feeling so bad. Like, it be people that I don't even really know sometimes. I'll be feeling so bad. Like, these people said something to me on my birthday, and like, I didn't say nothing back to them. It'd be crazy.
Mhm.
But
How I do it on my birthday. I usually just go back like the 5 it's like a 5-minute break. Just go back at the very bottom and say thank you.
yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to take my own advice and do it. But I know I'm not gonna be working on my birthday. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be out of town. So it's like, I'm just gonna, I'm trying not to look. I guess that's the best I can do. It's just not go there and not look because I'm not going to be working. So, you know, but you know, to my point, something about this process is not working for some of you all because you haven't moved forward, and whatever that is, that's okay. You just got to identify that and say, what am I doing? Some of you guys are stuck where y'all did your whole lead magnet deal. And it's like, I put this thing online and then nobody clicking on it. Okay, that's okay. You just gotta either you putting it in front of the wrong people, or you don't really have followers and you think you do. Right? So there's a couple of things, or something's wrong with the lead magnet.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not, so we just gotta identify the problem and say, okay, so what am I in the right groups? Are the groups that I'm in, are these people into this stuff that I'm putting here? Right? You gotta figure out why the lead magnet is not working if you've gotten that far.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on what step you're stuck at. But don't give up on it, because I'm telling you, I've said this 1,000 times on this call. In 10 years, that's all they're gonna be doing. I mean, everybody is turning everything into online, everything. Yeah. Like, I mean, even Apple is in the process of buying some kind of space to do this stuff in right now. Because everybody knows that this is how, like, nobody's, like, at some point, sales calls are going to go away. Because there's too much technology out here that's preventing people from answering their phone. Whenever my phone rings, it lets me know potential spam, potential sales. People got so much technology nowadays. It's like, if you ain't in my phone, I'm not even going to answer it to talk to you. So how do you get to people if when you call them, they don't answer the phone?
Okay, I got a question. Is it the PayHelp that you said that you, like, before you really used it for a long time, that you use that as your website?
I use it as a store, not a website. I use it as a store because PayHelp gives you a store, and it was a store to store all of my things that I would, like my lead magnets. And remember, I was selling ebooks and stuff through there too at one time.
Yeah.
So all of my stuff was in that store because it provides you a store the same way any other site like Pay, because there's other sites that's like PayHelp too. So it provides you with a store. So when you click on my store, it'll let you know how it looks. You can preview your store, and then you can arrange stuff so that it looks, you can use that. It's going to give you a site address. So if somebody says to you, Allison or Cynthia, or because whoever was just talking, I didn't see who it was that was talking. I just heard voice. Here, hey, do you got a website? That's the address you give them. Because when they click on that, it's going to go to your store, and you can have your logo up there if you want to. You can have the name. You can say Cynthia Wears Legal Products, or Cynthia. You can use the name of your company and could just call it that. The blah 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 store, or whatever you want. You can put whatever you want up there for the store. And when they scrolling down, it's showing the items, and if it's something that you charge for, it's going to have a price on it. If it's not something that you don't charge for, it's going to say free. And then you click on it, and it's going to ask them for their email address, and they can download it. And so you can use that for your store. And I don't use PayHelp anymore, and I don't use MailChimp anymore, not because there was something wrong with them, but because I bought into an all-in-one, and it does all of those things for me in one place. So it didn't make sense for me to keep transferring stuff all over when one thing does everything. So that's why I stopped using PayHelp and stopped using MailChimp, was only because I have all-in-one.
So what's your all-in-one you use?
Kajabi.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah, and I don't ever talk about Kajabi. I talk about Kajabi to my coaching clients sometimes. It depends on where they're at in business. Kajabi is expensive. Okay. So if you don't have a bunch going on, having it is going to end up being wasting money. And I try not to put anybody into a program that's going to, like, the cheapest program they have is $149. So it's $149, $199, $399.
Okay.
Those are the three prices. But now for me, it was a no-brainer because all of the stuff that I was using was amounting to more than that anyway.
Ooh.
My MailChimp had gotten to $70 a month because the more people you have in MailChimp, the more the cost goes up. And the more emails you send. So you got to remember, I'm sending out When they say you can send out 10,000 emails, they don't mean 10,000 emails like I'm sending out a Gmail. If I send out an email with 2,000 people, that's 2,000 emails.
Mm-hmm.
So if MailChimp says your plan is $39.99 and you can send 10,000 emails a month, somebody's thinking, oh man, I ain't gonna surpass that.
Yeah.
Well, if you got a mail email list, you do, because sometimes I will send out a blast, a CDLP blast saying, CDLP call Monday. I may send that out twice. I got 2,700 people on that email list.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5,600 emails with 2 emails a week.
Okay, whoa.
And you giving me 10,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to mention if it's a CDO training coming up. That's not to mention my email list for my actual business.
Yeah.
That's just me sending an email out to Legal Shield people for the CDL call of money. So now when I start sending out my emails to my individual groups of people, I might got 137 people getting the email on this, 600 people getting the email on this, 40 people getting the email on that, because I send out emails that are tagged for different things.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I send that email, if it's 100 people in that email, if I send that email 3 times over the next week, that's 300 emails.
Mm-hmm.
So my MailChimp had gotten up to $70.
Mm.
I used to have ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels, the cheapest ClickFunnels program, is $99.
Wow.
So I was paying $170 just for MailChimp and ClickFunnels. So I bought into the cheapest Kajabi, which was $149. And those weren't the only 2 things I was paying for. I was paying for 4 different things. So I was literally paying over $200 a month to have these other services. And then I went over to Kajabi and it was $149. And then when I built my Kajabi up and it was like, okay, I'm at the limit, I can't do no more for $149, I bought into the $199 plan. And then when I opened up my other business with Harold Branch, I just did the $399 because I just split it between my 2 companies. I paid $200 and $200. So, and then I have an affiliate program with Kajabi. So really I don't even pay for it because my affiliate program pays for the Kajabi at this point.
Okay, so I got a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I came up under another system with real estate, and the training was the platform under Kajabi. Okay, so I paid nothing. Well, I can't say I paid nothing, but I'm not paying for Kajabi, so I'm up under her or something.
Yeah, because you're in her system the same way everybody on here right now, you guys are in Kajabi through me too, because you bought something from me at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you log into the lead generation videos that you was just telling you said y'all was on video 4, that's in my Kajabi. You have that. So if you bought a program from Brendan Bouchard, if you bought a program from me, from the real estate people that you're dealing with, from Grant Cardone, any of those people, they're all using Kajabi. So when you log in, you'll see everything you bought from everybody.
Okay.
In that account. Because when you go to buy from one of us, it has you create a login. And you can put the app on your phone and you can look at it with the app on your phone as well.
Okay.
That's what I like about it, because it allows you to create a community. So like what I'm in the process of doing now is creating a business autopilot summit. I'm not calling it that, I'm calling it Business Autopilot University community, where people will pay $19.99 a month. And I'm going to provide videos on automation. I'm going to do live interviews with different people in there, and you won't be able to access it unless you have a login and password to get in there, and you're paying $20 a month, but that content won't be anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do all of that through Kajabi. So for me, Kajabi wasn't even something I had to think about because I was already paying more than that than what Kajabi charges me to do the stuff I was doing anyway. So they host my videos and everything. So if you have a website, right? Well, Kajabi does your website. So you get rid of that entire deal. If you're saying I pay $150 or $200 a year for hosting on my website, if you got Kajabi, Kajabi hosts your website. You just give them your domain. So if you're paying $200 a year for hosting, you can get rid of that cost if you use Kajabi. You follow what I'm saying? So if you can itemize what you're paying for to run your business now, for most business owners, they can replace all of those items with Kajabi and end up paying less or the same thing, but having it all in one place, which means it's all talking to each other. Because when I had MailChimp and I had ClickFunnels and I had all that, well, guess what? The analytics was different. So ClickFunnels is telling me who's clicking on what landing pages inside the funnel and going from this to that, this is keeping all those analytics. Well, MailChimp is keeping my analytics for who's clicking on my emails. Well, doggone, I got to look at both of these things to get my analytics to see what's happening in my business. With Kajabi, they're doing all of that in one place. So I can look at my client and see everything. I can see what email you clicked on, what landing page you clicked on, what you bought, what I refunded you on. If you're in a course, I can look at how much of the course you looked at when the last time you logged into it. So I got everything in one place. So it doesn't make sense for me to have all those different things. So that's pretty much how that works. So that's why I switched over and I stopped using that stuff, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with using MailChimp for your landing pages and sending your emails and having your tags and all of that kind of stuff. That stuff works really well because I used it for years before I got into Kajabi. That's what I was doing, and I just had my MailChimp connected to my Kajabi. I mean to my Pay. And Pay was free, so I wasn't paying for that at all.
What did you say about Stripe? Starting an account with Stripe, what do they do? What do they offer?
Stripe is PayPal on steroids. That's what it is. And I would suggest y'all, everybody on here, if you're selling something, obviously, if all you do is Legal Shield, you don't need Stripe because you're not collecting the money. Legal Shield is. If you're selling anything when you collect money, I suggest you use Stripe. Stripe is doing some really, really, really like Stripe is now. I just did a program where I'm waiting to go through this whole process of approval and this whole other stuff. But with Stripe, I just got into a program with them where I'm going to be able to give business loans to my coaching clients through them. I'm going to be able to do banking through my company through them, meaning that where their money is being collected in Stripe, Stripe will offset them up a online bank account through Stripe's banking services that they offer, and you get a bank card and everything, as opposed to saying, okay, I got Wells Fargo and I have Stripe. Stripe collected $6,000 this month from my clients that bought into my gift baskets that I sell, right? I sell gift baskets, hypothetically. And I got clients that's buying these gift baskets. Well, now the money is in Stripe where they bought it, and now I got to transfer the money from Stripe to Wells Fargo to pay for stuff, right? More gift basket stuff, marketing, whatever I'm paying for. I'm paying for it with my online or with my Wells Fargo business account. What Stripe is saying is we have a bank. And we can set up your business account. And now when somebody buys something from you and they pay with Stripe, guess what? You can pay for whatever you need to pay for with your Stripe bank account and your Stripe card. And now all your finances are in one place and they're keeping track of them. And now you can get loans through them. So Stripe will give you business loans based on them knowing what you collect in the first place. So if you go to Wells Fargo and you say, hey, I want a business loan, you're gonna have to be a guarantor and sign off on that business loan. If you don't have business credit and they can't pull you up on Dun & Bradstreet to see that you got good business credit and blah, 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 then you're probably not gonna get any business credit or a business loan from them. What Stripe says, and PayPal does this too, what Stripe says is, we don't need a credit check because we know how much money you got because we got it.
Right.
We know how much money you collected because we collected it. And we know how much money goes out because we see it going out. So we know how much money you make and how much money is left, how often your customers are buying it, and how much money you make every month. So we got all your data. So we're going to give you a loan based on what we know about you, not based on you having business credit. So the way I'm using it is with Stripe, with the banking thing is, now I will be able to, if I've got a coaching client that's saying, Like I got a guy now that's trying to get finance to get another 18-wheeler. He's trying to buy another vehicle and he's trying to get finance in his trucking company and he can't find the financing. Well, I'm going to be able to get him financed through Stripe, and Stripe gives me 1% of the loan value.
Mm.
You see what I mean? Now I'm loaning money and it's not my money.
Okay, so just a tidbit there, and you might be aware of this, but there's some private lenders out that may also loan, give him a loan for his truck, where he don't have to bring up all the documents,
Mhm.
you know, show his bank, show his, just the documents that the bank asks you to do. I'm learning that there's a lot of businesses out there that they're allowing banking or loaning without that process that the bank do to you. I'm gonna say do to you.
Right. And that's true. The difference with a Stripe is that because Stripe is so big, a lot of times they don't charge you any exorbitant fees because you're not doing that. A lot of lenders, if they're not taking you through the hula hoop that you got to go through, right? You know the ringers you got to jump through to get loans sometimes. Because they're not taking you through those, the interest rate is higher. Because of that. That's one thing. Stripe doesn't do that. The second thing is Stripe doesn't require you to pay back the loan based on, hey, I gave you this much money. You've got an installment payment of $650 a month that you have to pay back until that loan is paid back. Stripe doesn't do that. Stripe says, in order for us to give you a loan, we have to be your payment collectors. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 20% of every sale until we get our money back. So if that trucker says, hey, I think I want to do this, what Stripe is going to say is, okay, you got to use us as your payment processor. So when you move loads, the people who are paying you, they need to pay you through Stripe. And when they pay you through Stripe, we're going to take 20% of whatever agreement they make with him. This percentage of the money you made on that deal comes back to us as repayment to the loan until the loan is paid back. And once you pay the loan back, you qualify for another loan.
Okay.
Which is different because some people don't want to pay installment payments and they'll rather just not see it come out.
Right.
I collected my money, y'all got y'all 20%. And then when that's over with, they're gonna send an email and say, Cynthia, congratulations, you paid back that $15,000 loan because your business moved this quick so let's say for instance, you take a loan and in the process of you paying that loan back, your business increases 30% over that period of time. They're going to send you an email say, congratulations, blah, 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 blah. And because your business grew 30%, we are willing to give you 30% more than we gave you last time if you want another loan. So if you wanted to go from 15,000, 30% of that would be about 5,000. They would now give you 20 grand. And you would be pre-approved for that. Now you finish paying the 15 grand back. Now they're giving you 20 grand. And telling you, we're going to take this percentage of your sales coming back. Now, say you want to buy another vehicle, you could buy another vehicle, add another vehicle to your fleet, pay that money back, and they're helping your business grow. So that's something else that they offer, and then they allow you as a business owner to offer loans to your clientele. And you get a percentage, which is what I'm doing because I have business clients, and sometimes my clients can't get loans or can't figure out how to get a loan at a reasonable rate. And with Stripe, all they have to do is switch over from PayPal to Stripe or whatever they're using right now, switch over. And I'm also trying to get them to go with their banking because to me, it's better because if they're using their banking, now they're not moving money.
Yeah.
They're not switching money. They're not having to say, oh, I collected 10 grand, but let me put this money in my bank account now and manage it over here. And then if I need to put money back in the Stripe, I got to move it again. I don't want to be moving my money back and forth.
Yeah.
If people collecting my money, right? With PayPal, you can do that too. The difference is PayPal has your money. They give you a PayPal card and you can zip it. But PayPal got your money. Stripe don't have your money. Stripe has a bank, and the bank has a bank name, just like a Bank of America, and that's where your money is at. But you have a card, and you can spend the money. You don't have to move it.
So I have a question.
If you know anything about PayPal, if you just go online right now, type in PayPal lawsuits, PayPal is being sued by, I'm even gonna tell you how many people where they've held their money because they said that they were doing stuff that they didn't want them to do. So for instance, I've got $14,000 in my PayPal account, and I'm selling CBD through e-commerce. Well, PayPal says, we don't want you selling CBD and using PayPal. So they hold their money. There's active lawsuits going on right now where PayPal is holding people's money, where now there's so many people that is now a class action lawsuit against PayPal for holding people's money because they're saying that they're selling stuff, not illegal stuff, stuff that PayPal saying they don't want you to sell, that they don't want you to sell through PayPal.
Okay.
Because it's high risk. So it's not illegal stuff, it's high risk stuff to them. And true, it's in their contract. Well, who the heck reads that? I got PayPal, I never read their contract. So if I started selling CBD, I wouldn't go back and be like, I wonder could I sell CBD through PayPal? I wouldn't even consider that because it's legal to sell it. So why would I think I couldn't sell it? So you see what I mean? So it's like, for me, it's like, it's all about having these things available to yourself and doing it in a way, like I like moving with the cheese. And like, if you do, and anybody on here, just do it on your own, because you don't have to do anything with me. Do it on your own. Go online, go to YouTube, type in Stripe. Go online and type in Stripe and see what they're doing. Like that. Like Stripe is the gorilla in the room, and people don't know that. Like that's why I said it's PayPal on steroids. You can pull up PayPal versus Stripe as far as what they do in the industry, but if you pull up PayPal versus Stripe as far as which one is a bigger company, Stripe is like, they saying that banks who loan money, there's only one major bank who loans money who was not affiliated with Stripe. Two young guys started that company out of like England or Australia or something. It's worth $35 billion. Two young guys. I mean, between the two of them, neither one of them are even 40 years old. Two young guys. $35 billion. It's worth $35 billion. Even the car companies. So Ford, GNC now just cut deals with them where, you know how you go buy a car, you say, hey, I want to go get this new F-150 or whatever, right? You don't even have to go sit down in Ford or in Chevy and tell them, hey, I want to get this car. Oh, run my credit. No, you can call Stripe and Stripe will finance you for the vehicle. That's one of their financiers now. So they're now going into car companies and saying, hey, we're going to approve. So for instance, if you are using Stripe and you have a business and they're collecting money for you, and you want to buy a brand new car, now people want to put their car in their business name, there you go. Now you go get a car in your business name and they're going to give you a loan because they can see your finances, your business finances. You're using them as a bank and them as a payment service. They know they're going to get their money. They're going to take their car payment out your doggone money coming in. You follow? So I'm just telling you, it's a new way of doing business. It's a new Stripe is creating a new way for business owners to get the things that they need without having to go to Bank of America or Wells Fargo or Citibank or wherever the heck you go to get a loan from. Or SBA, and I got to qualify, and I got to have a business plan written out and all that. And I know that that's all good stuff. There's a reason to do that. I understand it. I get it. What they're saying is you don't need that with us because we got raw data and we got your money. So if you don't pay us, we'll shut you down. You're going to second guess about that when that's who's collecting your money. You don't want to piss off the person collecting your money.
Exactly.
You follow? So, you know, it makes sense. They got a good idea, and it's growing. So I'm just trying to get in with them before they get too big and they like, who are you?
Got a question.
We won't do business with nobody but like Warren Buffett and Elon Musk, whatever his name is. So it's like, yeah, I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in while they letting the door open to anybody that got an EIN number. You know what I mean? So that's where it's at. All right, guys. Gotta jump off. It's 9:32.
Question.
I know we talked about more than lead generation, but you know.
Okay. But I have one question.
Mhm.
The stripe, is the stripe FDIC covered?
It is. Yep. They're FDIC insured, and if you do like the banking through them, banking through Stripe, the bank is FDIC insured.
That's great. That's
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, it is. So, Vanessa, Jim, Flora, Cynthia, Catherine, Allison. I'm probably gonna see y'all on something else between now and next Tuesday, but I know some of y'all know Catherine and Jim and Vanessa, and I think maybe Allison too. Actually, I'm probably gonna see all y'all Saturday
Yeah, right then.
for the business automation mastery course. So, yep. So I'll see you guys Saturday.
Yes, Saturday. If not there, then I'll definitely do the recording. Yeah, I should be able to do Saturday though.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, it's gonna be recorded.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yep. It'll be recorded. So
Always appreciate your recordings.
No, good stuff. I appreciate it. Glad you joined us. We're gonna have a good time on Saturday. So good information.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure, no
We're
doubt.
gonna talk about that Asana, that Acuity, that Google, that Canva. We're gonna put it all together and hopefully come out of there with some information that you can
No, that's right.
go to the beach for a week and come back with more money in your bank account.
Cause that Asana, I got on there, but it's same way with Preview and Trello. I created accounts on all of them, and I was just like, whoa, Lord.
Too much going on. Yeah, I'm gonna do a walkthrough on Asana. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll walk through on like how to create the boards because I didn't have time to do it in the summer. But I will be doing it on Saturday. I'll be creating like 1 or 2 boards so you can see exactly how to create, because it's all like the way you want it. Like there's no rule to it. You can make the board whatever information you want on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like you don't have to follow any particular template. You make it how you want, and then once you make one, then you can just copy and paste that template on to the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's free. So it's free. So you can run
I
your
like
business with
free.
that task manager, and it's free. So.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So signing out. Talk to you guys all soon. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. And please close the month. So I forgot to say it was the last day of the month. So
All right.
you legal shieldians, y'all better make sure y'all got y'all numbers in.
I didn't, but
Mr.
gotta
Dunbar,
refocus.
thank
Gotta refocus.
Yep.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
Get it in. It's the 31st. All right. So see you guys on June 4th, Saturday, June 4th at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Have a good one, everybody.
Sorry for you, Jim, at 8 in the morning. Sorry, brother.
Bye.
Over there in Pacific time.
Yeah, thanks now.
You got it, brother. Talk to you soon.
Yeah. Great session. We'll see
Bye,
you
Mr.
Saturday.
Dunbar.
Yeah.
Good night.
All right. See you later, Flora.
All righty.